Thanks everybody for attending this afternoon. I'm Richard Williams, CEO of Winshear Gold. I'm going to talk about a project in Peru, the Gaban Gold Project, and I'm also going to give an update on the arbitration case that we've got against Tanzania in Africa. Forward-looking statement. So management, directors involved with the company today, we have Steve Leahy, who's our chairman, myself, Mark Sander, the president, who's been looking after operations in Peru, Andrew Thompson, the CEO of Palomino Corp, and Alistair Waddell. So it's really got a wealth of experience and success in the exploration sector. We currently have 61.5 million shares issued. We're trading around 8 cents Canadian. Palomino Corp is our biggest shareholder. They own 19.9% of the company. So let's take a quick look at what we have in Peru. The thing attracted us to this project is a combination of things, combining infrastructure, a new gold discovery in an area that's really underexplored. So what we are looking at is the area on the east side of the Andes in southeast Peru. We call it the Gaban Project. It actually straddles the Gaban River, and along that river runs the transoceanic highway, so we've got good access right through the project area. There are hydroelectric power stations along the Gaban River, so we've got access to power as well. Before we became involved, Palomino conducted a regional stream sediment sampling program, and that highlighted the presence of highly anomalous gold in stream sediments within what we call the ANOMALY basin. And just downstream from Gaban, you've got one of the largest alluvial gold fields in the world. The Madre de Dios gold field, which covers about 700 square kilometers, is about 30 kilometers to the north of Gaban. And we feel that Gaban is, I wouldn't say it's the only source, but it's one of the key sources of gold into the Madre de Dios alluvial gold field. So where are we? We're in what's called the Puno Orogenic Gold Belt. There are a number of known gold occurrences, gold deposits in the belt. Just to the south of us, there's the Oyachea gold deposit, which currently has a resource in the order of 2 million ounces of gold. To the southeast of us, there's a very large project called Rinconada, which is being mined by artisanals. It's about 10 million ounces. It's high in the Andes, and they're actually mining beneath the glacier. So there's a lot of exploration potential, but it's really underexplored. So when we looked at the project, and I've talked about the infrastructure already, you can see the drainage pattern here on the right. This whole area was covered by stream sediment sampling, and the highlight for us was the ANOMALY River Basin, which had samples up to 5 grams per ton gold in stream sediments. So it's a brand new discovery that's never been drill tested. When we followed it up on the ground, we found that there was the presence of numerous artisanal mine workings operating today with excavators. These operators come to the same areas every year after the wet season. So the wet season basically flushes out eroded gold into these areas, and they keep mining the same sediments every year after the wet season and finding some pretty significant some gold nuggets here. When we explored further, we found evidence of old workings that date back probably 100 years, an old stamp mill, some old adits, and what we were seeing was outcropping shear-hosted quartz veins in metasedimentary rocks that are typical of an orogenic gold system. So we are seeing the right geology in an area that feeds a very large alluvial gold system. So the way we've approached the project here, we were hoping to cover the area with soil sampling, systematic soil sampling, but the development of soils is pretty poor because of the nature of the environment. But what we did find was when you scrape away at the stream banks, you're actually getting into exposed outcropping shear zones with gold mineralization in quartz veins. So all of the work that we've been doing is actually taking channel samples over a large area and identifying the real footprint of the gold target that we're looking for. So we get real-time response in the field by crushing, panning these samples so we can see which areas we need to focus on going forward. So when we look at the work that's been done to date, on the left here you'll see the aeromagnetic image, and what really attracted us is that this ANOMALY basin, which has the gold in stream sediment anomaly, sits directly above a large airborne magnetic anomaly, and you can see that it's right at the intersection of some fairly sizable regional structures. Now you can see the location shown in the yellow circle in the central map of where the ANOMALY Basin is. And so that's been the focus of all the work that we've done over the last couple of years. So this map here shows the CORITIRI anomaly that we've identified. It's 2 kilometers long in kind of an east-west direction. It's open to the east and it's open to the northwest. As we go northwest, we get in pretty close to the town of Gaban. It's probably only about 4 kilometers as the crow flies from Gaban, so really good access into this part of the anomaly. You can see the clusters of purple samples in here. These are all outcropping samples of gold mineralized shear zones. And the central part of that area, we estimate, has got a true thickness in excess of 40 meters of veining with gold mineralization. And so we're in the process right now of applying for a drill permit to go and test this area. Because of the nature of the environment, we'll look at doing a helicopter-supported drill program, and obviously we'll announce when we get that drill permit issued to us. But I think the attraction of this area is that you're in a belt, you know it's a belt that hosts very large gold deposits. This is a new discovery, it's never been drilled, and it's close to existing infrastructure. So what we're looking at here, we've applied for 20 drill pads. It's much easier to test that as a first pass, and that'll give us a good indication of the distribution of gold and the extent of it. As we move to the northwest in this area, we're actually starting to see some carbonaceous shales, which again are very indicative of potential for some large-scale orogenic system, sedimentary-hosted gold systems. So where we're at today, we had a meeting last week with the Peruvian authorities. We're just down to the last final bits of information that they've requested for the drill permit, so we expect to get that, hopefully over the next couple of weeks. The other thing I'll just talk about, in addition to Peru, is that formerly this company was called Helio Resource Corp, and I was one of the founders of Helio way back in 2001. Helio spent the bulk of its existence exploring in Africa, and between 2005 and 2017, we discovered a 1.2 million ounce gold resource in Tanzania. Unfortunately, the Tanzanian government at the time cancelled the licenses that we had. So we were placed in no position. The only option we had was to take Tanzania to arbitration. That case has been ongoing for the last 18 months, and we're coming into the final stretches of that. And we expect the hearing to happen under what's called the ICSID rules, part of the World Bank, in Q1 next year. We've obviously advertised our claim, which currently sits at just over 130 million Canadian dollars. In our perspective, I think we've got a very strong case. Basically, the Tanzanian government cancelled the type of license that we had, amongst other companies also had the same licenses. So that's kind of a wild card in the background. We've got a new gold discovery that we think has got some real size potential in Peru, and at the same time we've got this ongoing arbitration case that's fully funded. We've got US litigation funding firm out of the US that's fully funding the legal costs, so there's no exposure to the company in that regard. And we expect a decision on that arbitration case next year. I think given the market cap and what we've got as potential catalysts, it's an interesting company to look at. Thank you.